not. So, but I did just got a kick when I saw the email. The first thing that I read is new lottery process. And I said, well, that is perfect because you built this thing on the lottery. Nobody ever in the history of lotteries has gotten luckier than you guys have in the lottery. Not even that lady from the Curse of the Lottery thing I saw. One time I saw the Curse of the Lottery on E! Network, and there was this lady who won. She hit the 7-figure jackpot not once but twice in the same year, in the same town, at the same friggin' corner store. When I saw that, I said, you have got to be kidding me. This old lady, I mean, she was like, in her 60s or whatever, and she wins big once, and then she's like, I had no business even playing the lottery. I didn't need to play it, but I like scratching my lottery tickets. And a few months later, the lady hits again buying a ticket from the same store. What are the odds, right? Well, the Cavaliers trumped her odds, as we know, with what they did in the lottery. So now, Cavaliers fans, you can also take your luck at the lottery if you want to get single game tickets for the Cavaliers. So I got a kick out of that. I wanted to mention that to open the show. Josh Gordon, the NFL drug policy, you guys. The latest on that. I talked to John McMullen last night. I said, what's the deal here, man? I said, everybody's now talking about yesterday, right after we went off the air, people were like, hey, they're going to do a conference call with the Ravens and the Steelers, and they're going to get a vote done tonight. And I'm like, no, they're not. No way. They're not going to do that. And anyway, so now there's a potential vote scheduled for today. And I use that word again because talking to John last night, it's still, there are a couple of touch points that can keep this thing from going through, which has traditionally been the problem. But as it stands now, again, they say, and I love how ESPN's figuring it out. Even on their article, they say could be voted on as early as Friday because they've learned how bad they look by continually telling people something's coming and it's not coming. So anyways, that's where that sits. Now, I asked John, I said, hey, do you think this is really going to come to a vote? He said he's talked to several people and there is a belief that they can nail these last couple of things down and it will get up to a vote. If it does, even then, no guarantee it passes, but it should pass. And now the other thing then is, okay, if that does happen, and I'm still not there, I'm still thinking that it doesn't come down to a vote before this weekend's games. We'll see about that. Like I said, we've been doing this since 2011. But that being said, Josh Gordon, if it does happen, it's going to be kind of the way we talked about it yesterday. He's not going to be wiped slate clean. He's not going to get the opportunity. Although, that's an interesting aspect that they added to the policy yesterday is that guy off the topic of Gordon is that if your only offense in the drug program is a marijuana offense, if you got caught with that, you can get that slate wiped clean instead of being stuck at stage 1 and then continuing through the drug program. If your only drug test failure from here moving forward, if they get this approved, is a marijuana failure, they will have you go through some medical talks with some doctors and whatnot. And if there are no other issues, and if that was the lone thing that you failed for, and you have no issues for the next year, you don't fail any other drug tests, you actually get that taken off. It's almost like you get to start back over without strike one, which will prevent some circumstances like Josh Gordon's. You still can't continually break the rules once the new rules are established, but that'll help Stuck with that permanent one strike where the next one now becomes 2 and the next one becomes 3. So for the guys whose lone abuse of the drug system has been marijuana, they'll basically get a reset every 12 months, and that is, again, assuming that they've passed all their tests, whatever. So there are some changes, but with Gordon, and I'll tell you, I still think Josh Gordon may be the one guy who doesn't benefit from this because he is the one exception that they have to make. In order to include Josh Gordon, they have to make an exception to allow somebody who wasn't suspended and who wasn't failed in this year to grandfather him in. The minute they do that, everybody before that date is going to want the same thing for them, all the way back to 2011 when they started negotiating this thing. So Josh Gordon is going to bring a lot of firestorm on this policy if he's included. To me, the easiest thing for all parties is not to include him, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Either way, even if he's included, It will not be a slate wiped clean. He would get the half-season suspension, which we talked about, looking like 8 games, could possibly be 10. If it's 8 games, he's already served 1. 2 would be this weekend. I believe November 2nd against Tampa Bay would be when he would be eligible to come back and play. And then, of course, he's still got the DUI suspension to come after that. But that's where things would sit, and that's an exception still being made for Josh Gordon. So that's where things sit with that. And guys, don't forget, the key of this whole thing is they still got to get it to a vote. And as of right now, they haven't got it exactly where they need it to be. They have broke through, though, supposedly on some significant areas, including the union, and this was a big one, agreeing to the blood testing, because a lot of guys, there's a difference between a urine test and a hair test and a blood test. Some people, for religious reasons, some people think, and this is true, it sounds crazy, but there are some people that think that blood draws will mess with their body chemistry, and they're hey, there's some real vegan people that are really strict on what comes in and goes out of their body. So I do believe some of that. Some of it is just a smoke screen so that they don't have to take the test. But that was one of the big breakthroughs, was them agreeing to allow that, although there's still an out where they can appeal based on scientific validity. Scientific validity is a very sketchy ground, because that just depends on who believes what scientific mumbo jumbo, because everybody can produce an expert. You guys have seen that at trial. I told you I watch a lot of Law and Order. Everybody can produce an expert. But yes, Charles, what I'm saying is it's a done deal, except it's not done at all. That's exactly what I'm saying there. You know what? I'm going to go to the phones real quick and let you guys jump in on this. Caller, you're up on the sports. Oh, you know what? I think I just lost him. I had a caller. Don't have a caller anymore. Lost him. All right, well, I'm going to keep the conversation going. 216-539-7535. 216-539-7535. That's where things stand with Josh Gordon. We'll pick up, of course, if anything does happen. Hey, it could be a done deal before we go off the air. So if it is, I'll let you guys know. Again, not holding my breath, but that's where things stand with that, with Josh Gordon, with the Browns, and all of the latest. So either way, no matter what, even if a vote goes down as we speak, Josh Gordon will not be taking the field this weekend for the Browns. But hope reigns eternal. Hope does reign to see Josh Gordon on the field perhaps later this season. But I still say, man, the players' union's taking a chance by rolling Josh Gordon into that, because you're opening up so many other arguments. If you make the cutoff everybody after Josh Gordon, there's a whole less room for people to argue with you, because at least there's a rhyme and reason to it, So anyways, I just think, boy, players union better really like Josh Gordon if they're going to open up that can of worms, because there's going to be hundreds of players. Oh, think about it. However many people have gotten strikes in the drug policy since 2011. If their case would have been changed by the new rules, they're all going to have a problem with Josh Gordon being included. But if you just say it's simple, it's this year, March 11th. Everybody before, nothing changes. Everybody after, it's retroactive. It's fair, it's neat, it's clean, and nobody can argue. I'm thinking, man, that's a big exception to make for Josh Gordon. He's going to owe some people some crab cakes and some thank you notes if they make that exception for him. All right, guys, let's talk. Let's get off of that for a minute, and we'll pick up some of that with Jonathan Knight. By the way, JK is going to join us just a few minutes from now. Matter of fact, I'm going to start off with him talking some Tribe, so let's set the stage now. Indians, when we were going off the air yesterday, Tribe got mad at Mike Brandenberry. He angered the Indians lineup as they erupted. Well, at least with this offense lately, it was definitely an offensive eruption yesterday. They took care of business behind Corey Kluber and went out there in game 2 and did it again. I'll tell you what, guys, Indians swept the doubleheader. Kansas City lost late last night. Indians now sit as we speak. I don't care. I don't care who wants to rain on my parade. I'm telling you guys, the team of destiny is right where you want them. The Indians, 3.5 back in the wild card. Technically, they're 3 games back in the division. I know the standings will tell you 4, but they got that game in hand with Kansas City that you count as 9/10 of a victory right there. The Indians are right there, and I know we've joked and said this series is the biggest. This one, now we got to find out what's up with this one. Plain and simple, not this road trip, not these next X amount of games. This series right here, what begins tonight, is what will determine this season. You've got Detroit in your crosshairs. And you know what? I know some people are going to throw things at me when they hear this, and some people are going to go, yeah, J-Rock Daddy. But how did the Indians start the second half of this season? I'll remind you, they started the second half of this season taking the first 3 games on the road in Detroit and narrowly missing a 4-game sweep of the Detroit Tigers. Now here they sit with the season in the balance. This is what you want. This isn't just meaningful games in the month of September. This is the most meaningful games, man. I'm telling you, you bet I'm fired up. The Indians did what they needed to do, and if they do what they need to do this weekend, it won't get more fun than the next 2 weeks. And I can't wait. Let's get this break out of the way, come back talking some Tribe. I'm going to see where Jonathan Knight's at with this thing. I'll tell you, I know where Mike Brandenburg's at, and I want to know where you're at. Where do the Indians finish this stretch run? Hit me up on Twitter at TheSportsFixCLE. Email me, thesportsfix@AOL.com. Send me a carrier pigeon. Facebook us, Facebook.com/TheSportsFix. Can the Indians, am I right? Are they the team of destiny? Are they going to run this bad boy down? I'm telling you, they are. Let's take a break. When we come back, Jonathan Knight, Sportswriter extraordinaire, in the house. We'll talk about that. We'll talk some Indians with him, looking ahead to this big, huge. It doesn't get any bigger than Detroit with the season on the line in September. We'll talk about it with Jonathan Knight. We'll talk Browns and Saints. We've got Jeff Gorman and Ryan Ruiz coming and so much more. Don't go anywhere. The Sports Fix has just begun, baby. Till tomorrow, why put it off another day? One by one, little problem build up and stand in our way. One step ahead, one step behind it. Now you gotta run to get even.
When it comes to Cleveland sports, we go from
"You can't touch this"
to
"I can't watch this."
So listen to The Fix. It's easier on the eyes.
Hey guys, before we go to the break, I want to talk to you a little bit again about our good friends at Harry Buffalo North Olmsted, the UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championships, some of the hottest fights in the world today. Each and every one of their huge events, Harry Buffalo is one of the few places in Northeast Ohio you can go there and watch each and every UFC fight at the Harry Buffalo. And let me tell you, I've been there. The people are out the door. They are to the rafters. It is one of the craziest environments for some UFC fights. Wing Mondays, they've got great deals on wings and drinks, and every day of the week there's a different special, a different deal. And don't forget the Bison Burger, the unbelievable. It is the combination of a fantastic burger and eating healthy combined into one unbelievable sandwich. You have got to get a Bison Burger while you're there. So whatever you're looking for, whatever day of the week, Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sundays, there's something for you at the Harry Buffalo North Olmsted, just outside Great Northern Mall. Check them out today. Harry Buffalo, join the herd.
Hey everybody, this is Jerry the King Lawler from WWE, and you're listening to the Sports Fix.
Whether it's an oil change or a new set of tires, Quick Lane at Valley Ford Truck has you covered for your automotive car care needs. They're your neighborhood quick service experts. They also offer a low price tire guarantee. Choose from 13 brands, and if you find the same tires at a lower price within 30 days, Quick Lane at Valley Ford will refund the difference. They're open late Monday through Thursday until 9 p.m. and open early Saturday so you can check it off your to-do list and get on with your day. They also have a newly remodeled service lounge and additional service bay just for Quick Lane oil changes. Quick Lane at Valley Ford Truck is located at 5715 Canal Road, right under the 480 bridge in Valley View, just down the road from Independence. 5715 Canal Road, right under the 480 bridge in Valley View, just down the road from Independence. Come see why life is better in the Quick Lane. Quicklane.com/Valley.